Alright, I'm gonna be talking about saving money today. It's like one of my favorite things to do. And some people don't like to talk about it as much because it brings like a lot of arguments, I think. We talk about different ways to save money, how starting little will bring you so far, like even like $5. So different types of accounts and like benefits of owning some of these accounts. I got started back like 3 years ago by a friend who was actually my financial advisor up in New York. And he like really like hammered saving in my head because I was never like this. I would spend money all the time. And I didn't have a sense of actually saving. So why should you start? So the Social Security Administration did this survey where they followed 100 people for 40 years. And they wanted to see how they would make out at that retirement age, which is like 60, 70. So 1 was wealthy, like really just rich. 4 were financially secured. 5 worked because they had to. And then 36 died. 54, they're living off of Social Security because they can't bring in any more money. And then 5, so there's only like 5 people that actually succeeded in doing it. So I'm saying like starting sooner is better than later, right? So to think about it like that, like 60%, I think it was 55% of people will reach retirement financially, like successfully. So I mean, like the other half is like, what are you gonna do? Like, you gonna work the rest of your life? Or are you gonna like, let's do that. Running out of money would probably be the biggest problem. You don't want to be like 70 years old working 80-hour weeks. Like my grandfather used to do that, and I used to like, I didn't understand it all the way since. And then another statistic is 1 out of 3 Americans are saving for retirement, which I think is pretty low. And it's just like, why should you start? I think it's like a sense of security because like you want to have like money to be there for you at the end. And people don't think the longevity. They think like, oh, okay, I'll be good for right now, the 10 years, blah, blah, blah. And I would see, like I saw like my family and friends and they all struggled like throughout the years. Like my dad, he like works like 80-hour weeks and he's like 60. I'm like, if you just would have did this like a little bit sooner, like actually educate yourself a little bit more, it probably would have worked out a little bit better. Okay, so I was doing a little thing about how to get started. So the Starbucks are like 120,000. So Starbucks is like $5, right? I'm not saying like you're getting Starbucks every week. That could be like anything. Like, yeah, I stop at Chick-fil-A like maybe once a week. That's like $8. So I mean, cut that out of your life like once a week. It's not that hard. And it's just starting small. Like you don't have to like have a lot of money to start saving. Like $5. Anyone can pick up $5. Like it's like really easy. But the hardest part I think is like actually getting started, like going out and like opening up an account, like a bank account. So I did a little thing with compounding interest. So this is $5 a week for a year. So $300 a year, okay? So at a 9% interest rate that you're gonna get on top of that 300 for every year. So, okay, 10 years, you get $5 grand. Like, that's pretty cool, right? So as you keep going throughout the years and your account gets bigger, it's gonna grow. So we'll do the last, I like to do 40 years because like we're on that age where we'll retire at the same age. So around 40 years, and this is just $5, like $117,000. Like, that's pretty crazy. That's not considering that you're gonna be working at a better job and funding more than $5. I think it's pretty cool. And like the real goal of it is to like forget that you're doing it. Like when I started with like 5 or 15, like I forget that I'm like it's getting deposited out of my account and being transferred to another one. So you just gotta get to that point. Okay, so types of accounts that you're probably gonna like see in like the future is like the traditional IRA and then the Roth IRA. So the way that I like to think about this, traditional, is you're gonna get taxed when you hit your retirement, like when you hit like 59 and a half, whatever. You're gonna get hit with a big, whatever your tax bracket you're in, okay? And so then the Roth, you're gonna pay tax before you put it in. So that's like key, like, would you rather pay, okay, $1 million, would you rather get taxed 20% at the end or get taxed before that? So you're probably gonna have like 800,000 in a traditional, but in a Roth, you're gonna get that 10 million right there. You're gonna be paying little taxes throughout your lifetime of like 40 years, or when you have your account. So there is like limitations though, like traditional is like, I think like 6K for 2019, and they're both 6K, but then there's other ones too. There's your 401s, they have a 401 traditional and then a 401 Roth. And that's like provided to you by your work. So your work is gonna be like, gonna set you up an account, and then you can get free money from them when they match your account. So you can, I recommend just going to highest. It's free money for like the whole time you're working there. And then, but it all depends like on what you're working to. Like if you're working, I recommend like a Roth for like starting out, just because like we're not in the age where we have to worry about tax brackets and stuff. Like you can just like feed money into that. Okay, and then the next slide is kind of like overwhelming, but it's just like scenarios. So like, this is like an account that's Morgan Stanley. So scenario like $100 a week in a retirement account. Okay, you start out with like 25,000, and like at the end, like what about turn 53, $2 million in an account? Like that's pretty crazy, I think. And that's just being like, I'm doing like, that's just having someone like do it for me. I'm not saying it'll happen, but like that's like, it's like a 97% chance of it happening. So like different benefits too, I think this is pretty cool. So when you have like Roths and stuff, like you're gonna have like big time tax advantages, like moving money in and out of your like accounts would help you a lot. And like if you ever wanted a house, like this is like a big thing. This is why I do it. So I want a house, and I'm gonna get my account up to like okay, $20,000. So you can use your Roth account and then use it as a down payment on a house. That's what's really cool. And then you never actually take out the money. So the money's like still making money throughout the years, but you just use it as a down payment. And you can get actually really deep into it. Like there's like this thing called a golden Roth, and okay, if you remember back in like 2008 when Obama and who was it, Romney going across him. So there was a big thing on his taxes, like show your taxes. Everyone wants to show your statements and stuff. So he didn't pay any taxes for like 10 years, 5 years, something crazy. But he had this Roth account, like this golden Roth, and all he did was just flood money into it and then take it back out. Like it's just like little transactions. I mean, it's all about like reading. Like you can hear these accounts, but you just gotta read more and just like get into depth with what you can actually do with it, because people don't tell you like the advantages of having it. I have a little video. A short video.
Creating a budget can be a super daunting task. Who in their right minds would ever look forward to cutting back on entertainment, luxury, and food in their lives? But the more you save now through budgeting, the better off you are later in life, especially in an emergency. To create your first budget, you're going to have to prepare for budgeting by being honest with yourself. Gather your paychecks, bank statements, credit card statements, and receipts from the past 3 to 6 months. Then crunch the numbers to see how much you really make and where you spend the most money. You can get as detailed or as automated as you want in this process, but the more you analyze now, the more accurate your budget will be. Next, you're going to have to set a goal for each category of spending. Some of these categories include rent and housing, utilities, transportation, food, personal care, taxes. However you define your categories of spending, you should use your previous analysis to set percentages and goals for spending and saving. There's no hard and fast rule for how much to spend in each area, but using common sense, you should allocate enough money towards necessary bills first, like housing and utilities.
All right, so something like that.
So you have 30 seconds, wrap it up.
All right, and this brings me to the end. I hope I can persuade you into like going to your bank and like calling your bank and just saying, take 15 and put it to my account, because it's so easy. And you, at the end, you'll really like love yourself at the end, because you have a big boatload of money
Very good.